Ever since the patent for the axis lock expiring in 2019, a lot of companies call themselves doing a good old crossbar lock. And there are a lot of folks that I really enjoy that do it. I mean, I recently just picked up this Redemption Chavez knife in their first version of a crossbar lock. I got some stuff from Giant Mouse and TRM, but there's nothing like the OGs. Okay, Benchmade. And I'm going to tell you something. 2017, the introduction of the Benchmade Bugout was exciting for a lot of people. This is a great knife for lightweight use. If you're trying to keep it light, made of polymer scales, which is also specifically for them. Or excuse me, Grivery. I always get that wrong. Grivery scales. Put some respect on their stuff. Makes it lightweight, makes it pretty durable. But I'm just going to tell you something. There are two knives that I think are significantly better than the Bugout. If you're looking for something that's lightweight, you're a hiker or a rucker or every ounce matters, then these are the two that I would go for and stick to the end so I can tell you like which one. If I were stuck with any of these three, the one that I 100% would find myself sticking to the most. The first one we got to talk about has to be any version of the bailout. Now, the bailout is a fantastic knife Benchmade came out with. I love the scales. This is a carbon fiber version. I'll put some B-roll over the top of my aluminum scaled version as well. This comes out now because this knife is so popular. They're doing it in all sorts of flavors, all sorts of versions. You can get it in the S90V as I have it right here. I think they have it in S30V. Of course, they have it in the M4. It's just a lot of different ways to get it. It's the action on this is significantly better than the Bugout. I think that the cutting profile is a lot better. It's easier to use this bad boy. And I think it looks better. I mean, aesthetics is probably not the biggest judge when it comes to a knife, but that's one of them. Now, of course, this one has a better, more suited lanyard hole, and you can get the one with the glass breaker if you want that, just in case you want to get yourself out of a predicament. But it's a fantastic knife. And the thing is that Benchmade, their Bugout, their marketing, who they are, the butterfly tax is real. And it does not matter who comes out with another version of a crossbar. They're always going to dominate on top. And it's something else I think would be a better alternative also to the Bugout would be the Taggedout. This is the full-size Taggedout here. I have in the Grivery scales with the Elmax orange thumb studs. Very, very great knife. And this one has the mini deep carry pocket clip. Good knife to be able to use. I think maybe the mini Taggedout might be a better comparison to the original Bugout. But any of these are just fantastic. Just to kind of show you, here is the Taggedout. Here is the Benchmade Bugout. Trying to line these up from the beginning of the thumb studs. Matter of fact, let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. So if you look here, I believe that the Taggedout is just a better profile overall. It's a little bit bigger, so if you're thinking about something that's going to be the smaller size, then maybe get the mini Taggedout. Here is that bailout, as mentioned earlier, which is a decent little knife. Here's the thing. I think that the Bugout is a great knife for Benchmade when it came to getting their name out there, people understanding who the heck they are, and just kind of dominating the market when it came to pocket knives, EDC knives, etc. I believe that before the Bugout, there was plenty of knives that you can get from companies, Case, Gerber. For years before the Bugout existed, I carried a Gerber fast hand toe auto S30V that I had for 7 years before the Bugout ever existed. But it was a bulky knife, and it was something about the addition of this Bugout to the market that there was just not knives exactly like it. They had that big advantage of the crossbar lock. They had just the great features of Grivery, which a lot of people haven't experienced before. In my opinion, that Benchmade was known for their ballad songs. They were known for the tactical bros in the 90s with the Emerson and stuff like that. And when they slowly but surely shifted, and we started getting stuff like the Osborne, which I think was fantastic. We got stuff with the very first Axis lock at the 710. Those were great. But when they came out with this, it was a home run. It was a hit. But I'm telling you, if the Taggedout existed before that, that would have been my go-to. You're wondering which one I would go to if I had to pick between all of these. It would be the Taggedout. This Elmax is fantastic. These Grivery scales don't feel cheap, although At the end of it, I think the Grivery technically is less expensive than carbon fiber or any type of metal whatsoever, but it still feels really doable, feels really good. The cutting profile of this does feel like the type of knife I could use for everyday carry, but because of the clip point shape, it's a lot easier for me to pinch up on the knife when I'm doing certain type of cuts, and it's a lot easier to use this in hunting scenarios, starting the process of a kill, whether it is, well, I maybe not use this for cutting the bladder out of a kill because I might completely accidentally get urine or feces all over my meat. But just any type of task where if I want to start the beginning cut of cutting the hide off an animal or something like that, this is a lot better. The bug out just seems, and then that Elmax I think is just really good as well. This bug out, you're coming in with a blade steel that's over 2 decades old, and the cutting profile is cool. The lightweight, it's great. I would just say if you find yourself wanting to get a bug out, and I have 6 different versions of the bug out, this is my favorite version with the partial serrations because this is the one that feels the most useful. The partial serrations feel like I could actually use this for cutting fibrous material such as rope, burlap, zip ties that have a little bit more meat to them or whatever. This is probably the version I will go to. It's hard. You kind of normally have to specifically build these on the Bugout on the Benchmade's website. Sometimes you can find these on base. I bought this on the military base as is. But if you're going to find yourself with a Bugout and this is the only one you have, that would be the one I would go to. But that's my choice. What do you think is significantly better? I'm talking about in Benchmade's lineup. I know there's a lot of butterfly tax haters in the comments. You're more than welcome to comment down below and tell me why you hate Benchmade so much. I particularly am a Benchmade sheep. I think they're awesome. I think they make some great American-made goodness and they get grandpa excited. So if I'm thinking about in the Benchmade lineup, which one would be my go-to? It's the Taggedout for your boy. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.